Hey guys, this is me, Kevin Murphy, on my channel called Narcissistic Abuse, Learning Who I Am Again. In this video, I want to talk about trauma bonding and how we can be trauma bonded to the narcissist in our lives. So, trauma bonding is defined as a codependent, close relationship to the person that is the narcissist in our lives. That narcissist can be a sibling, a boss, a parent, a teacher, a significant other, a spouse. But today I'm going to focus on the significant other, the narcissistic boss, and the narcissistic parent, and how we can be trauma bonded to people like that in our lives. And what are the origins of a trauma bonded relationship? So, trauma bonding is a form of codependency in relationships that we may have with a narcissistic person or a personality disordered individual. So, trauma bonding normally is a inappropriate closeness to that person. So, in trauma bonding relationships, a part of ourself is lost. So we are no longer in touch with our own reality. We don't know who we are in the relationship. We have completely lost ourselves. The reason why this has happened is because we have come from a background where ourselves were stifled, our opinions didn't matter, our desires were marginalized as being stupid or not good enough or just not taking an interest in. And we bring all of that baggage because we're not healed. We bring all of that into these relationships. And we put ourselves in positions where we're taken advantage of, where we're not respected, where we're not heard, and our boundaries are just completely trampled over. So, the first example that I want to talk about in regards to to a trauma bonded relationship is a relationship with a narcissistic boss. So, let's say, for example, you consider yourself a very hardworking employee. You get to work on time, you enjoy the kind of work that you do, you take your job incredibly seriously, and you have a boss who is very self-absorbed, very self entitled. You've heard them talk smack about other people behind their back. They just at any opportunity that they get, they will throw you under the bus. They take credit for your work, for their assignments, and you have seen this, and you have been aware of this. In other words, your narc dart goes off, but because you're codependent, because you lack those boundaries or self-esteem, you ignore that narcdar. So what you do is you present yourself as vulnerable. You may have shared a lot of personal information with this boss, with this toxic work member, and you may have told them that you grew up in a narcissistic household. You had a narcissistic father or caregiver or somebody like that. And because of the fact that we want to be seen, we want to be loved, we want to feel like we belong to somebody, we will divulge a lot of inappropriate information to this person and trying to get their approval, trying to get them to kind of like love on us and trying to accept us and be approved of. We're not realizing what damage we're doing and how we are further traumatizing ourselves. Because one thing about a narcissist, any information that you tell them, they're going to store it and they're going to remember it and they're going to use it against you during the devaluation stage. So that narcissistic boss is going to love bomb you. They're going to tell everybody in the organization how much of a wonderful employee you are, how great you're doing. They're going to give you all the all the things that you've always wanted: appreciation, validation, approval, respect, false respect, but respect in your eyes and in your mind. You feel like finally I'm being heard. Finally I'm being seen. Finally they are doing, somebody is paying attention to me. And this will continue to happen. Um, as the relationship between you and that narcissistic boss continues to grow, you're going to get phone calls at all hours of the night, all hours of the day, on weekends, when you're with your family, when you're with your doing your own thing, and trying to um, relax on a weekend, or trying to do something fun with your friends or other important people in your life. You may get a phone call from that narcissistic boss asking you to write up a report, do a um, do a survey for something. Things that can wait until you get back to the office, either the next business day, or if it's the weekend. This is something that can wait on Monday. But that narcissistic boss has seen through all your vulnerabilities. He or she has seen that you are looking for their approval. You're wanting their validation, and they also saw that you came into that professional relationship without boundaries, without standards, without confidence. And so you might be doing your own thing on the weekend and hanging out with your friends, hanging out with your family, and you get the phone call from your boss, from your narcissistic boss, demanding that you get reports done, or demanding that you get this assignment done or get this assignment completed by the end of the day. And it's Saturday. And the report is not due until probably Wednesday or Thursday of next week. But because that boss has seen that you need that approval, you need that validation, you need that those accolades, and you need to be lifted up, and you shared all of these vulnerable details and personal details about your weaknesses to them, they see that you are going to do that report by 7 p.m. on the Saturday. And generally this creates a very toxic dynamic. And the codependent over time will get very resentful of the fact that the boss is not respecting them. They're going to continue to look to that boss for that approval by continuing to work hard and produce more, and try to work even harder on their assignments, and allow that boss to continue to call them at all hours of the night and all hours of the day, and different and days off, and so on and so forth. And what and the more that codependent continues to produce, the more of their self-esteem is being chipped away. And again, at the root of this is the fact that we did not feel seen as children. We did not feel like our opinions or our standards mattered. So we come into these kind of relationships without standards because we're so starved for that love. We're so starved for that approval. And so what happens is we create this codependent situation with our narcissistic boss in in the attempt to win their approval, and to create and contrive this bond that we feel that we so desperately need. So that's an example of being trauma bonded to a narcissistic boss. Trauma bonding to a narcissistic parent is you doing everything you can to find out what is important to that parent, and you being that very thing that is important to that narcissistic parent. So let's say, for example, you have a narcissistic dad, and that narcissistic dad is into sports. He wants you to excel at basketball, baseball, football, all of these things. Now, you may have grown up not even interested in sports. You may not know anything about football. You may not know anything about baseball, basketball, whatever. You may not have ever heard of you may not even have heard of an assist. You may not have heard of um, what is a linebacker, what is a an interception or something like that. but you are doing everything you can to study sports, study football, study baseball, study basketball, and doing everything you can to excel at these sports because you are doing everything you can to please that parent. And so you start taking on these different extracurricular activities. You start becoming, you start becoming that football star or that basketball star, um, and you start to try to excel at these sports, and you actually do because you're doing everything you can to work hard to get daddy's approval. And so, as you're excelling at these sports, you are losing who you are because, like I said in the beginning, you are not even really interested in sports. This is not who you are. But because that narcissistic parent doesn't care and they see you as an extension of themselves, you are going to do everything you can to do and be what they want you to be. So at the more you're trying to be what they want you to be and trying to be an extension of them, you are continuously losing yourself. You're denying yourself. You're denying who you are. And so you get into other situations and other relationships, not really knowing who you are as a person, and you're only and you don't even know yourself because that narcissist has taught you that all of your hobbies are bad, all of your interests are stupid, all of your friends are dumb, all of your everything is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, and they don't take an interest in anything that you do. And so you find yourself stifling a huge portion of who you are in order to please that narcissist parent. You start to choose other partners and other friendships and other people that remind you of that narcissistic parent, which which leads into narcissistic significant others. So we may subconsciously choose a partner or a friendship that reminds us of that narcissistic parent. We feel that, in our mind, in our subconscious mind, we may have closed the door of trying to get that narcissistic parent's approval. We may have, some of us may be on the journey where we feel like we're never going to get daddy's approval. We're never going to get this narcissistic parent to love us. We're never going to get that narcissistic parent to be take an interest in us. So I'm going to emotionally close the door to that relationship of wanting to be seen by the parent and wanting to be, acknowledged and wanting to make that parent proud. And instead, on us again, this is all subconscious. I'm going to choose another partner or choose a significant other that reminds me of that parent. And so the whole song and dance begins all over again in that relationship with that significant other. You are ignoring all the red flags. You are ignoring the fact that the significant other is controlling, abusive, verbally, physically, mentally, psychologically. You are so you're so desperate to try to fix your past through this person that you're willing to ignore all of the dysfunctional behaviors that are happening in that relationship. So what you do is you constantly try, just like you would do in your narcissistic parental relationship. You constantly do everything you can to win that significant partner over. You will subject yourself to horrific abuse, cheating, being called names like bitch or stupid or idiot or um, having that partner flirt with other people right in front of your face. You're being gaslit whenever you confront them of their behavior. You're being marginalized when you want to share your life and your experiences with them. They don't take an interest in anything that you do. It's all about them, their friends, their interests, their their family, their wants, their desires. So once again, because you're not healed and you're trying to fix something that is that can't be fixed, you are repeating that cycle of abuse all over again, but just with a different face, just with a different person. And so that's why it's very important to really know, to find a therapist, find somebody that you can talk to about your experiences. Put the work in and put the effort in to make positive changes in your life, because no matter what face that you have, or on that you put on another person, a narcissist is a narcissist. And the only way to fix what has been done to you is by setting strong boundaries. And those boundaries can be going no contact. Those boundaries can be going low contact. Those boundaries can be just seeing them at different events, being, going gray rock, being very cordial with that narcissistic parent, knowing your deal breakers, knowing the red flags. And part of knowing what your deal breakers are is knowing yourself. Knowing what you like and knowing what you don't like, and what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not willing to tolerate. When you don't know yourself, you're not going to know what your boundaries are. You're not going to know what your deal breakers are. You're going to accept mediocrity. You're going to accept abuse. You're going to accept being marginalized, being told that you're nothing. You're never going to be anything. You've never been anything. Those are things that you have to say, I'm not going to put up with anymore. I love myself enough to leave this relationship. I love myself enough to set these boundaries and to not continue this dysfunctional cycle with other people and picking emotionally unavailable partners, or picking partners who are going to put their hands on me, or picking partners that are going to call me names or make me feel bad about myself. So all of that takes awareness. It takes a lot of self respect. And you may be watching this video saying that I don't think I can do that. You can. And if you are willing to put the work in, you will do it. You will do it, and you will feel so much better once you're on the other side, once you are healed, once you're no longer looking for that validation and that approval from that narcissist. You will feel so much peace. You will feel so much positive energy coming back to you, and you will start to attract healthier relationships and healthier people in your life. So so say no to the trauma bond. Say no to the codependent relationship. It's very enticing, but it's something that you can say, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. So thank you guys for watching my video. Please stay tuned for more videos. And for those who have any video requests, please comment on please look at my please look in the description box for my email address, and email me with any video requests that you may have. I don't charge for any video requests or videos that are made on this topic. I feel that we all need to be aware of the things that are going on, and I am on this journey with all of you guys. And there's no need of charging people for awareness and for information on things that are going to help us all. So thank you very much. I thank you for for all of you guys who have recently subscribed to my channel. Let's just do this journey together. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday, and I will talk to you soon.